Hello, all of you. First of all, I am thankful to Dr. Rajiv Mishra sir, the founder of Social Research Foundation, Kanpur, for this wonderful event to enhance the publication and research. And he provided a best platform for us for this wonderful event and for the communication between the research scholars and teachers and scientists. As I know, today our topic is micropropagation of sugarcane and different strategies in the micropropagation of sugarcane. So first of all, I want to say that I will focus the commercial micropropagation technique, not the only the research based, because my work is on the commercial scale. So there is very variation in the protocol, use of chemicals, use of technique at the commercial level. Because in the field of research, we focus only on the single experiment and on the result. But during my research, I focused on the commercial production of the sugarcane by tissue culture. So there is many chemicals, different protocols and techniques are differ from the normal work which are working only on for the research work in the laboratory for the PhD students. First of all, we should know about what is plant tissue culture. We know that Gottlieb Haberland first say that plant cell has property of totipotency. Means a plant cell which contain the DNA in the nucleus has property to form a complete plant. So in plant tissue culture we use a cell, tissue, organ to grow whole plant in synthetic and sterile media and environment. So there are four focus points in the definition overall. First is synthetic and sterile, means contamination free, aseptic media. When we say the synthetic media, it means there is a confirmed concentration of the different nutrients. Like we use micronutrients, we use macronutrients, we use amino acids, we use vitamins, we use chelating agents like sodium EDTA with ferrous sulfate. We use carbon source. In case of semi-synthetic media, we also use agar in that media in the concentration of 8 gram in 1 liter. So in the case of micronutrients, we know that we use ammonium nitrate, potassium nitrate, calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, potassium dihydrogen orthophosphate. In the case of macronutrients were the ammonium nitrate, potassium nitrate, magnesium sulfate and calcium chloride and potassium dihydrosulfate. And in the case of micronutrients, we use boric acid, potassium iodide, sodium molybdate, copper sulfate, cobalt chloride. In the case of chelating agent, that we use iron ferrous sulfate and cobalt chloride. In the case of vitamin and amino acid solution, that we use inositol, nicotinic acid, glycine. And finally, after making the 4 separate stock media in the tissue culture, we not dissolve the same all contents, all chemicals in the same media. We make stock solution, first, second, third and fourth. The third stock solution is for the chelating agent. We preserve it in the amber bottle, which is brown in color. Then we make the pH approximate 6. As I already told that there is minor differences between the protocols of different crops. I am concentrating only on the tissue culture of sugarcane at the commercial scale. Sugarcane micropropagation is very tough task because sugarcane is a tough crop. Tobacco plant, which we focus mainly. That is very simple plant for the micropropagation technique. The media should be sterilized by only autoclaving. That should not be filter sterilization, because we use sucrose. After autoclaving at high temperature and pressure, this sucrose breaks into glucose and fructose. But when we only filter it, sucrose will not degrade into break into glucose and fructose. So reactions will be very slow. And when in the case of we use the term synthetic and aseptic environment, we know that in the tissue culture laboratory, in the growth room, we use fluorescent light 1000 2000 lux as a light source. We use humidity. We also use air conditioner and blower to maintain 25 plus minus 2 degrees centigrade, means 25 degrees centigrade meant to end to multiply the our crop of sugarcane. So that all thing is the synthetic. When we discuss about the aseptic condition in the environmental growth chamber, we use UV light. In the inoculation chamber, we use HEPA filters by laminar hood. We use fume sterilization. We use flame sterilization. In the case of fume sterilization, we use potassium permanganate with formaldehyde solution. Then this all is about the plant tissue culture. Now, why we need plant tissue culture? In the case of plant tissue culture, we focus that actually in the commercial scale, when farmers grow traditional method, he use seed sets. We not suggest to you directly to the scientists to grow, farmers to grow the tissue culture raised plant as such for the cropping. In the micropropagation, we use micropropagation technique when there is growth of new variety. When we develop new variety, in the case of sugarcane, the Coimbatore Center use the hybridization technique, because that flowering and the hybridization is not possible in the environment of northern India. In the Coimbatore Center, we use the hybridization and then develop new crop. So for the easy and fast distribution of the crop and the new variety among the farmers of northern India, we use micropropagation in the different centers of northern India, like Shahjahanpur, like Jalandhar, like Seorai, and so on, Lucknow, the different centers. So to use that is the name, like COS. CO means Coimbatore, where we perform the hybridization program, and S means Shahjahanpur. COJ, Coimbatore and Jalandhar. Then this is the only for the fast multiplication of the newly developed crop, because we know according to the Mendel's law of segregation, after 13 years, every crop start to deteriorate in the yield and performance of sugar recovery and the for the micropropagation. Then for the scientists, there is two tasks. For the farmers, we concentrate to develop the variety with the high weight. But in the case of for the mills, we should concentrate a high recovery rate of sugar from the sugarcane. So this is very tough task. Now, first of all, there is the shoot tip culture for the production of the exact variety of sugar cane crop. We cut the shoot top, then remove the leaf roll from the shoot top. We remove the leaves and make the spindle of the shoot tip. Then we inoculate in the initiation media, shoot initiation media. In the case of shoot development, we use high concentration of cytokinin, then auxin concentration. Means in 1 liter media, when we add 1 ml cytokinin solution, then we add only 0.5 ml auxin solution. Because high concentration of Na auxin root development will perform, and if we develop the root first, then the multiplication rate will be low and there will be no multiplication. Our aim is high multiplication. So after the development and initiation of shoot, then we subculture in the new media, liquid media, that is a multiplication media that has the high concentration of then one inoculum. Now my work is focused on the subculturing work. Means this is new for you, your research. As I say, first the effect of number of inoculum, how much inoculum plants we inoculate in the subculturing media, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of subculturing effect, because during subculturing in the multiplication media there is exclusion of the phenolic content which may be toxic for our growth, and that cause the vitrification, and the concentration of the water will increase in the plant, that will cause the vitrification in the shoots, that is the fast shooting and fast growth. So days of culturing 15 days, 20 days. Next is the effect of trimming. If we trim the shoots during subculturing, there is a rate of multiplication will increase. Now the second protocol is for the new variety development. Just like the resistant to the any pathogen, we use callus culture. We use callus culture only during the development of new variety or new crop in the sugarcane, because during high multiplication rate that will cause soma clonal variation. So for soma clonal variation we use leaf rolls around the shoot tip. The wooding, that will cause the wounds that initiate the callus formation, and this callus has soma clonal variation, and these variations will be helpful for us for disease resistant. So many scientists ask us that why the red rot resistant sugarcane is not possible, because red rot resistance is not dependent on only a single gene, that is multi-gene character. So it is not easy. That is a moderate, less resistant, it is possible, but not 100% resistant variety of red rot is not possible, because that resistance is a multi-gene character. In the case of, we can also develop synthetic seeds by using calcium alginate and sodium alginate solution, the calcium chloride solution, for the transport of the seed. We develop embryoids from the leaf rose cuttings. In the sugarcane we also use genetic transformation technique. We use TI plasmid of Agrobacterium tumefaciens for genetic transformation of any gene in the sugarcane crop. Then we use the Agrobacterium culture and leaf roll cuttings by cork borer by co-culture method, where our bacteria infect the sugarcane crop and develop a new variety by insertion of the gene. So in the tissue culture is preferable for many purposes like easy multiplication, fast multiplication, environment free multiplication, and very interesting point is disease free plant, not the disease resistant plant. You know that in the plant which is diseased, infected by a pathogen of virus, phytoplasma, bacteria, there is only meristem is the only part where there is no infection of any pathogen, because meristematic cells are highly energetic, respiration is very high because they are meristematic cells, they are dividing very fast with very fast rate. Next, any vascular bundle not reach to the meristem part. So in the meristem is the virus free. So we use meristem culture, but the survival rate of meristem is very low than the shoot tip culture, because the part of inoculum is very small. So then survival rate is very low. But for the disease resistant plant, when our source plant is highly infected, but we need that as an inoculum. So this is the method. But this is not a disease resistant crop. We also use heat therapy with meristem culture. Now we can say that at the last that there are many challenging problems for the tissue culture plants. Number one challenge is high contamination rate, because when we inoculate or subculture plant in a media, we see that bacteria or fungus grow on that media, which reduce our yield. Media become turbid, there is cottony growth of fungus, mycelia in the inoculum. So we use different antibiotics, mercury chloride solution on the industrial scale as antibiotic and antifungal agent. Another challenge is the high cost rate, because our crop is purchased by the mills, not by the farmers. In the only I discuss on the case of sugarcane, not others like other jatropha plant, papaya plant, banana plant. They are distributing by the many agencies and research centers to the farmers, but we not sell our plant to the sugarcane plant to the farmers. We sell to the mills, and mills, because after tissue culture development, when our crop is fully developed in the tissue culture lab, plantslets are developed, then we transfer in the water, then the dark house, then in the greenhouse, and this is called acclimatization. That is called hardening process. We harden the plant to the new environment for that high hardenment of the field. So after hardening, we remove the poly bag and we develop a new plant. We distribute the seed sets of 2 bud, 3 bud to the farmers for easy cultivation of the crop among the different areas of country. So this was everything for the tissue culture of sugarcane, and some points are that we use 2,4-D for the callus culture in the sugarcane, because with the help of BAP and auxin is not possible, we can not be successful for the development of callus, because sugarcane is a hard crop. So there we should maintain the different hormonal concentration and develop for that special variety, because nutrients and requirement of different temperature is variable for different crops and different varieties of sugarcane. So we should concentrate on our protocols and multiplication media, growth media, and so rooting media. The rooting media has a high concentration of auxin for root development. Thank you. Now it is very tough for without that PPT presentation to share our work on that platform. So I will request the Socialist Foundation that next time please provide us interesting for us to share our slides of work in different stages. The viewers will be very interested that when they will see the exact figures and exact photographs of our tissue culture raised plants, and they will interested in see that lecture. PPT for the wonderful lecture, and I will definitely will give my more time for 1 hour and 2 hours for that complete lecture, and I can visit the different photographs of our laboratory of plant tissue culture. Thank you Socialist Foundation and Dr. Rajiv Mishra sir and their team for continuous conversation for during this lecture and their seriousness for this lecture slides. Thank you for the team of Socialist Foundation.